Oh, crazy that. How's that?
When this arrives.
So this is Alfie, this is my son.
Guys, welcome to my first Olympia prep series of 2020. So I'm excited to announce that we are actually doing the Olympia this year. It was very uncertain with COVID and the travel restrictions, but we've got the green light and it's go time. So we are 11 weeks out. As you're going to see today, I am in prep fully now. So we have caliper readings later today with Dan. We've got Musclefood delivery, which is going to be my first delivery on the Olympia prep. So you'll see how different it is to my off-season diet. So it's going to be very plain, chicken, salmon, steak, and that's what bodybuilding is about, keeping it simple and getting it done. So as you all know, this year's been a bit uncertain for all of us, and we've been in lockdown. I was unsure how my Olympia prep was going to take a hit, where I was starting at. So this is what today's all about, is getting my weight done, my calipers done, basically my fat readings, to assess how far out we are, what we need to do, and to seriously put a plan together. So this is, for me, which I'm looking forward to, and it's going to be the switch for me turning it on for the Olympia prep. So I know I weigh 208 pounds first thing in the morning, which is 94 kg, and I will typically look to go on stage around 190 to 191 pounds. So I know we've still got a lot to lose, but I'm determined this year to come in as full as I can, as big as I can, because that's where the division is going. And for me to even get into the top 3, let alone win it, I need to come in bigger and start challenging those bigger guys. So that's the plan this year. Me and Neil have spoke about this. My approach so far, which is going to be going for the next few weeks at least, is to not do too much cardio straight away, because I am quite bad for that. I go straight into 60 minutes first thing in the morning, and I do that for 12 weeks, whereas we're already at 30 minutes and we're keeping it nice and steady, and we're going to try and slow the process down so I can maintain as much muscle whilst getting closer to the show. I'm one of these guys who, as I get closer to a show, I feel like I want to get in the trenches, I want to feel the pain, and if I'm not in pain, then I feel like I'm not in prep. So that's not necessarily a good thing. So for me this year, I'm going to really listen to Neil and the team around me and try to stay in my lane with regards to not taking carbs out, keeping them in as long as I can, and seeing what effect that does to my physique. The aim, as always, is to be Mr Olympia walking away at the end of this year. And what a year, or what an end to the year it would be, to become a dad, which is obviously the ultimate for me over any title, sorry to say, but it is. And then to win the Mr Olympia men's physique. What a way to end a pretty shit year, I'm not going to lie, with COVID. So that's the goal. It's never changed, but this year, I really mean it. We're going for it.
Ready?
Got your BCAs?
Oh, I thought we were doing that though.
Blue steel?
Yeah, I was playing it cool. Yeah, so we've got my BCAs. This is what I always take pre and intra. I normally add carbs to it, but I haven't brought them with me today. But I would normally add 50 grams pre, 50 grams intra, 100 grams after, post. So we're going to get some social content first, so it's more like carousel work, so workouts, what I would typically do, but what I can obviously give out to you guys on Instagram. So we're down here at, it's called Joe Ralph's Gym, and it's in Wakefield, and I actually shot here yesterday with USN, and I was really impressed with, obviously the building itself is absolute class. It's only been open 3 weeks. It's like a boutique gym, and it's really, really nice. It's got nice high ceilings so you can shoot out of it. And yeah, I got on with the owner quite well yesterday, and we wanted to shoot here again today, so that's where we are.
Where do we go from here? No one can save us from keeping clear. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you now.
So it's that time again. We're here on the Mr Olympia 2020, which we all thought wasn't going to happen this year, but it is, and we're here for the first weigh-in. This is what I'm quite nervous about, because we are 11 weeks out. I started say 14 weeks out, and to be honest with you, I have no clue where we're at. It's been a bit of a whirlwind year, and I need to see where I'm at body fat wise, weight wise, and I can make a plan obviously going into the Olympia this year. So. £208, which is about 94 kg in English terms. Yeah, it's not bad. As long as it's muscle and not fat, then we're happy.
'Cause there is only one thing on my mind.
Yeah, so now we're going to see how fat we actually are, how much muscle mass we've got over this lockdown period. And hopefully we're in somewhere about.
So we're just going to punch all of Ryan's results in, and then we'll be able to compare them from last year's results, and then obviously at this specific time for the last 7 or so preps, so it gives us a lot of data in that respect as well.
Cross-referencing, see where I'm at.
What are your estimates, Ryan?
To be honest, I have no clue this time. Normally I have a little bit of an inkling, but you know, with all lockdown and just everything going off, it's been a bit crazy, so it'd just be nice to see where we're at, so I'll have a better plan, because it has been, especially this past week, I think as soon as you hit that 12-week mark, it all becomes very real, and not knowing where I'm at normally is not a good sign. But it should be okay.
I remember you were panicking last year, weren't you, because you had some time off? And
yeah, last year, because of the hip operation, we started at like a lower weight, didn't we? Because obviously I was down on muscle mass, so it was a bit an uphill struggle to start with, to try and like maintain muscle, and even trying to grow into the show, which is quite hard in itself. So hopefully we're in a better place than that. We had a bit of an off season, then obviously COVID hit, so that was a bit of a setback, but there were no excuses. We still got things done. It wasn't as productive as we wanted it to be, but it wasn't horrendous, and obviously I'm just thankful we can actually, there's a way into America. For a lot of this year we thought we weren't going to be competing at the Olympia, so I'm thankful for that. I've got my visa in place. We're going to have to go to Dubai first and go and do a few weeks out there before we go into America, which that's going to be difficult in itself, massively, especially on prep, but it's just another hurdle we'll get over and bring that Olympia title back. You have to go up into this plus thing here. Oh shit, mate.
Ryan's new Instagram social media course is coming out soon.
I'm horrendous on social media. But I think you go up here, look.
Download my Instagram ebook.
Do I feel like I need to be doing more in order to keep at that loss, to keep it the same? Because we're near enough exactly the same there, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is the baseline point at the start of prep, but the difference now is learning from last time and saying, right, what do I want more this year to what I had last year, and it would be
more muscle mass.
Yeah, and to retain more, because obviously we had that period where as you became more insulin sensitive, more anabolic, you put on muscle mass, but then we just went a little bit too hard too soon, and then we dipped into that a little bit towards the end, whereas we want to try and push that off, maybe 2-3 weeks later, once you discuss it with Neil, about delaying that inevitable catabolism.
So basically we're at, to summarise, we're 11 weeks out. We're sitting at 94, and we've just worked out, because it's obviously a different time of the year, it's difficult to cross-reference, we didn't think about that. But 11 weeks out from the last one, which is the last Olympia, would you believe, we're near enough, bang on, exactly the same. So we're 12, just under 12%, 11.9% body fat around this time, and we were 12 last time. What else are we looking at? We are 94 kg in weight, this one's 95 kg in weight last year, so that kg is probably fat, it comes to considering. What else do we need to really pull up on? It's funny though, because my caliper readings always look different every year. Like I never come down the same, do I? Every year I store fat or hold on to fat in different areas, and it comes off, that's why you can never be the same thing year in, year out. You have to adapt every time, and I think all okay. Do you think?
Yeah, it's any input. It's a good starting benchmark. It's just learning from, like I said, from last year of going, you know, as we started to dip into muscle mass a little bit toward the end, you know, can we delay that? And that's why, as much as what we compare to last year, it's not a direct comparison, because we want to learn and improve on you know, what we did last year, and that's
definitely
critical, isn't it, to bring in a better package ultimately on stage.
Yeah.
But as a starting point, it's
where we need to be at.
It's where we need to be. It's just the time frames are different, because we're looking at 11, 12 weeks out in October rather than 11 and 12 weeks out you know, in June, and they're the big differences. It's
just looking at this. Was that my first Olympia with you?
Yeah, first Olympia.
2015. I was 26.
87 kilos.
87 kilos.
You're holding that. That's total body weight, 87 kilos back in 2015. You've got that in pure muscle mass now.
So we are improving then.
Well, every year's been an improvement, hasn't it? It's just, you know, if you look at your muscle mass as it trends through, it's every year we brought more muscle mass to stage. It's just
the division's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm even if I put muscle on, it's still a struggle, isn't it?
Even though I said we've incrementally made muscle mass gains, the requirement for the class has gone higher and higher as well at a faster fold, and that's you know,
that's where we're at.
It's a battle, but it's a battle we're going to win this year. Aren't we?
You heard it right there. So this part, you was talking to me about insulin sensitivity.
Yeah, so something we've always been conscious of with Ryan is that not bringing things in too soon or restricting too soon, because of his unique capabilities to process carbohydrates, essentially, you know, layman's terms is a way of putting it, but also, you know, more scientifically speaking, is insulin sensitivity. So when he digests and breaks down a molecule of carbohydrates, where is that going in, you know, a less conditioned individual, less genetically gifted, so on and so forth? That will be shuttled either into a combination of muscle mass or fat, or all fat and no muscle. Whereas, you know, Ryan's in the very prestigious category of being able, from the measurements that we take, that we can put him in such an elite category of saying, if you ingest this, that's going to go to muscle mass and you're going to use it as fuel. Not only is that fuel for training, but it's also going to make him more anabolic, and also give him a greater capability to break down those muscle fibers and then get the nutrients there to repair it afterwards. So it's further reinforcing that point of not going too low too soon, just with the quest of being the leanest, because that takes people into a kind of conditioning mindset. I've got to hammer 4 hours of cardio, strip everything back, strip all my calories out, which, you know, hormonally speaking, is not the best thing to do. You know, and that's why it has to be on an individual basis. We can have clients that are storing an awful lot of fat in particular areas, and they're high on that insulin. So then we would then restrict that. You know, even though you can be around about the same body fat percentage. So it's personalising it to the point that we can maximise. These are fine tweaks.
Yeah, that is something I've obviously learned over the years. I've tried all different types of diets, like high fat, low carb, all those type of diets, and ketosis. And for me, I've always functioned, and obviously this says it all, with high carbs. Even when I'm dieting down, like my lowest day was 280, I think it was 280 grams of carbs last year, which for some people is still really high, but for me I felt like I was on death's door, like I wasn't functioning. So it just shows that bodybuilding is very individual to that person, and it takes time to work out or to discover like what works best for you, and definitely by judging by this is high carbs for me.
Yeah, for now, and that's but it's then also the realization that if you are then going to go for more of that protocol, then that's going to have, you know, you can't cheat biology. It has to follow set routes. So as much as what we treat Ryan as an individual, he's not defying, you know, the laws of nature. You know, there is still certain parameters that we're working within for sure. There are a good set of results where we're starting at. It is just unusual starting this late on in the year. It kind of throws things out from our timestamps point of view, doesn't it? But
we'll be okay.
We'll be fine, mate. It's going to be.
So how do you know about the insulins? Is it like what certain sites you start?
So it's particular sites in the body. So we take 14 sites, and they all correlate to certain hormonal things going on within the body, to put it fairly basically. So the main ones speaking about insulin sensitivity and carb input, the main kind of carb sites would be subscapular, so this area here on the base of the back, and then a strain site in the base here as well. So
me, yeah,
this
that's
is where
definitely my-
you know that's
My grey area.
if you're storing more flat fat in those areas, it would
Yeah.
indicate more that you're not the
Yeah.
most insulin sensitive.
What about prep life?
When this arrives.
We've got 4 boxes of a lot of chicken. Box of salmon, that's literally pure salmon.
Oh, it's my naughty one. With peanut butter.
And the oats, we've got a lot of oats. This should be my fillet steak. Got some
Oh, that
broccoli.
smells lovely.
Got some onions, and then I bought some stuff, some prep pots for Amy. Obviously I'm on prep, so I can't have these, but they are still really healthy, high protein pots, which will just be easy, convenient for Amy at the minute, while she's recovering from hospital. Potatoes. The weird thing is, I will go through this quite quickly as well. You don't realise how much you actually eat on prep. But that is essentially really what I eat, is chicken, steak, salmon, eggs and oats. Right, so as you can see, this is my order from Musclefood. It's changed massively since my off season where I had a lot more variation in it. But as you can see, we've got basmati rice as a essential go-to for me. We've got my oats in the morning. We've got different carb sources, i.e. sweet potato and white potato. We've got all my veg, my broccoli, peppers, onions, things like that. These ready-made pots are Amy's. I can't have them on prep, but they are a great addition to having the fridge if you need something. A lot of chicken. Again, when I'm on prep, it's just keeping everything basic, and you don't need anything fancy. It's all about getting the meals in and classing it more as fuel rather than like a food source. It's just an energy source and it's fuel. That's all you need to know for food when you're on prep. Unfortunately, people who say you can enjoy it, you can to some degree, but you still have to stay within your line. So chicken is what I would have in the day, so it's my white meat in the day. I've got fillet steaks and lean steak mince as well, just a variant of red meat which I'll have in the evening. And I've got my salmon, which I have my last meal of the day before bed. I've got some tuna fillets also there to try. But every meal will be classed with carbs. I also have eggs as well, one of my second meals. You've probably seen it on my Instagram quite a lot. And another form of protein is a whey protein. So other than that, that is everything I use on prep. So it's quite basic, it's quite simple, but that's all I've ever really needed. And as I get closer into the show, the meal portions will change. The protein sources will stay the same and the quantity of protein will stay the same. It's just the carbs and fats will vary as we get closer to the show. Guys, also, if you want to support me and help me and you're interested in getting any of the food from Musclefood, then use my code Ryan at checkout and it will give you some money off the delivery as well, and it helps me out. So I'd appreciate that a lot. So one of the questions I do often get asked on social media is, now I'm in prep, how's my training changed or has it changed? And it doesn't change at all. For me, as you're well aware if you watch me on social media or if you've ever bought any of my ebooks, I'm very sporadic and I just want to keep enjoying it in my training. So I never have a set routine. I never go in balls to the wall trying to go as heavy as I can every week. I try to vary my workouts, vary the type of training I do, the methods of training, the sets, the reps, the tempos, everything. And for me, that's a way of, again, keeping the enjoyment, but also expending the calories and making my body work. So everything's staying the same. I will assess on certain days if I'm full of food, had a good night's sleep. That's when I'll touch the heavier weight and I feel confident to do that. If I've had a rough night's sleep, if Alfie, my son, has kept me up, which he has been doing quite of late, then, and I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to risk injury. I can still get a lot from the session without risking injury. So I wouldn't go heavy. That's the time I'll be going into supersets, drop sets, high volume kind of workouts. And some people might think that's a bit loose in how I train, but that's how I always have done it, and that's why I've always enjoyed what I do. So it ain't going to be changing anytime soon.
And after the first set, try and just a little bit more.
Restricted flow training, isn't it? Restricted blood flow training.
Blood flow restriction.
Go on, Johnny.
Blood flow restriction. Or restricted blood flow. Whichever you want.
Restricted blood flow. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing arms today, so biceps and triceps. This is my weaker muscle part. I train them early on in the week, and then we do a full session today. Primarily 3 to 4 exercise biceps, 3 to 4 on triceps. First one was, say, blood flow restriction, trying to get a pump, trying to force or restrict blood into the muscle. And then now we're just going to go for some normal sets, normal dumbbell sets. So we're going to do like a little bit of a superset. So we're going to EZ bar. Yeah. EZ bar, preacher curl, heavy 6 to 8 reps. Then we'll go for a straight bar, lighter weight, stud, bit of blood volume. So it's going to be a bit of a superset. Is that too light? Yeah. Nice, buddy, nice. Let's go. Slow them down, make it heavier. Let's go. Yeah. Oh. Right.
Work. Good. Good work. Slow it down, then. Slow it down. Slower.
8, 9, 10.
Nice and slow. Slide.
You know.
Last one then, last one then.
Shoulders. Hold back, elongate, so proper stretch it out. Yeah. Hold that squeeze. So keep the tension on, don't let it fully go. Another 4, I'm going to do it 4 times, so 16 reps in total. 3, 4, good. Come back, get that nice stretch, good. 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go. Nice, Johnny. 4, good. Get that stretch, nice stretch. Final 4, let's go. Come on. And again, last one, and then we're going to hold it back. Hold for 5 at the back. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. 3,
4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Let's go. 4, 5. Let's go. 3, 4, 5.
All
That's
me,
it.
all me.
Let's go then. 2. Come on, pull you. 3. And again, one more. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Good.
No, it's a tricep extension machine. As you can see, it's on like a pivot. So when you load the plates on, depending on where you load them, it's got 3 points. It's going to make each angle harder. So obviously the top, make it harder for the last part of the movement. But at the bottom, it's going to be the first part of the movement. So for me, I always struggle at the first part. So I went heavier to try and obviously push through plateaus and improve that part. So.
Squeeze back. Squeeze. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
So we are now 10 weeks out from the Mr Olympia 2020. Obviously Johnny, you all know by now, is my good friend and physio. He has been working with me 6 years, 7 years now, and he's up here today to obviously work on me post session. So we wanted to train, obviously whilst he's up here, have a look at how my left shoulder is when we're doing certain movements, because that's what tends to niggle me, doesn't it, through
just the control in it.
Yeah, so we were trying to like strip it back, so we just saw the weight wasn't ridiculous, so we were going for more volume and concentrate on the reps rather than just heavy weight. Then now we're going to go and do a physio session. We're around the 12% body fat, as you can see earlier on in the video. That's a good point to be at 10 weeks out. So we're not going to do anything major. We're just going to keep coming down nice and slowly, trying to keep the 208 to 210 pound mark, which is 94 kg, for another couple of weeks. See if we can change the body composition at that time as well. So see if we can strip body fat, maintain muscle, and even grow a little bit, because we're still in a surplus of calories. So I've still got time to grow at this stage of my prep. And then in a few weeks' time, you'll see that the weight will start coming down. The calories will be depleted. I won't be as happy on camera, and then Johnny will have to do the talking.
Good luck.
So physio at present as well is a key factor in my prep. It's a key factor in training and in my life at the minute as well. So for the past 5 years, 5 years, I've worked with Johnny Hands, who has been my good friend and physio. We see each other on a weekly basis. Obviously it's been difficult through COVID and all that kind of stuff, but I've been trying to minimise it myself with Theragun and rollouts and things like that. But now that we can see each other, we are making it a weekly thing. As we get closer to the show, that's going to increase to at least two sessions a week. And it's just trying to reduce the risk of injury and try to foresee injuries. So any little niggling injury I've got or anything that's starting to bother me, we'll address it there and then, rather than just hide it and mask it and go around it like I used to do. We'll just tackle it head on, and it seems to be helping quite a lot.
Oh, it pains in there. How's that?
He's too massive not to hear by the looks of it.
I'll be fast asleep, yeah.
He will be fast asleep in, I say, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Put the timer on.
Hey, Craig, give me one of those Spike USN.
Keep you awake.
Keep me awake.
Is this the first session on prep?
This is actually the first session on prep. And it's, I can tell it's going to be a difficult one, this one. There's a lot of knots. I think I was sleeping on a chair in the hospital for a week. Oh, that was a lot. Oh. Are you getting hungry again? So this is Alfie, this is my son. Oh, he looks very tired and moody. Look. Oh no, don't cry for me. But I've not managed to obviously introduce him too well in this video. So in the next video, we'll introduce him a bit better when he's got more food in him. Tell you how he came into the world and how it's affected mine and Amy's life. But yeah, we'll do that in the next video. And also, I'll show you in the next video food. Now we're on prep, I'll show you a lot more in depth of what I'm taking throughout the day, calorie wise, and what I plan to do as we get closer to the show. So this was more of an introduction into getting into prep life, as you can see, and then we'll get deeper and deeper into it as we get along the prep. And he's going to now cry, so I need to feed him. So thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. No! And I'll see you in the next video. So will he.
Obviously, I have got. And that's a wrap. Just leave it at that.